Hello everyone, I'm Kevin, otherwise known as Forum BX257, here to bring you our 1980s G.I. Joe tour review. And today I'll be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Tundra Ranger, the 1989 Stalker, better known to collectors as Stalker version 2, or the one that came with the kayak. Now, Stalker debuted his second uniform in the old Marvel comic run in issue number 92, and makes his first cartoon appearance in the 1989 DiC animated 5-part miniseries Operation Dragonfire in Part 2. As you can see from the package, this bubble here actually represents where the figure and his accessories would go. He came with so many accessories and stuff that the artwork is pushed all the way up into this tiny little corner. That's pretty amazing for a $3 figure.
This is the previous version of Stalker, and as you can see, he doesn't have any other environment look to him other than maybe like a jungle version. So a lot of collectors were actually kind of wondering why Hasbro would waste a snow environment slot on Stalker of all characters. However, a lot of these later characters from about 1988 and up are very comic book influenced. And one of Stalker's very first field command missions was actually in the Arctic, in G.I. Joe issues number 2. I would actually say that while as a ranger, he's actually supposed to replace the 1986 Beachhead, who himself replaced the 1982 and 1983 Stalker, but due to his environment specialty, I would actually say that he replaces the 1986 Iceberg and 1988 Blizzard instead. Unfortunately, we're in the era of the contents listing of the accessories on the cards not being very specific about the weapons and accessories. So this is just listed as a rifle. It's probably more of a machine gun, or submachine gun, I would say. It comes with a knife, a very interesting sculpt with that extra bulge tip on there. He comes with a mask, very strange. It's almost like a hockey mask or hockey goalie's mask or something. And he comes with a fully loaded kayak. The kayak itself comes with a paddle, a machine gun. This is something that you might want to watch out for on the aftermarket. Even though the rest of the accessories are made of a very comparable plastic, for some strange reason the brown plastic here is actually gets kind of brittle after a while. I find it interesting that there are sculpted on bullets here. That's something that a lot of these things kind of miss. Of course, there's the very interesting detail on the kayak itself, as well as this little outrigger. And the arm that attaches to. Both of which are actually detachable. One very interesting thing about the contents list on the card, which I didn't mention, was the fact that it calls for something, one of these items to be a backpack, and I'm not really sure which. The bottom of the kayak, I'll probably call it a canoe a few times by mistake, actually has a backpack peg. So yeah, you can attach it to his back, sort of manta style. and it doesn't look all that great. And quite frankly, that's not really the way you should be carrying a boat of this type anyway. It really should be like that, or, you know, on its back upside down. Very interestingly enough, the outrigger itself, it has a backpack peg too. So you have the option of either attaching the kayak or this thing to his back. That's very strange. I don't think I've ever seen an accessory where you have an option of backpacks. Putting the kayak back together, you could just place Stalker right in there while holding on to his oars or paddles. And, well, there's no specific spot for his submachine gun or his knife, but, well, they could honestly just fit into the gaps. These are gaps, after all. Or into the hole. Like that. Oh, all right, I'll try it out. Yes, it floats. I'm genuinely surprised that this thing floats, and actually floats rather well and evenly, with or without the outrigger attached. I'm also kind of surprised that they don't mention this anywhere on the card, as it would certainly count as a feature and worth boasting about. Okay, so I might be a bit biased because I really like the Arctic themed G.I. Joes, but this is an almost perfect figure. There are multiple ways you can equip Stalker, with the kayak on or the kayak off, the mask on and the mask off, giving him kind of a different appearance, as well as having him with the knife and submachine gun for light assault, or removing the machine gun from the kayak for heavy assaults. He really does look totally different with the different equipment, but he doesn't look like he's missing anything either if you take something away. Speaking of the kayak, I actually given that to my 1987 Outback for display, and I have to admit he looks quite a bit better with that. I've actually put some pictures of that on my Facebook page so you can see what it looks like too. While mixed in with the other Arctic figures I have currently, one day I'll get that 1988 Blizzard I keep mentioning, Stalker blends in beautifully. If there is one baffling thing about him, it's that knife on his boot. It's upside down. Now, I'm not a knife deployment expert, but that seems awkward, and I can't see any reason for this orientation, either for the enclosed space of a kayak or for the snow, ice, or tundra environment. Well, that's all the time I have right now. Please check out my Facebook page for more information and behind the scenes photos for these reviews. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for next time to see another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. See you then.